What's going on, folks? Welcome back to the Virtual Steve Show. This is a new test that I'm doing here. This may or may never see the light of day. I've had this idea for a while now where I would do a podcast from my car. I actually have some pretty advanced ideas where actually I could have guests in that even on the podcast. I would pretty much be using something like Discord or Skype, and my computer at home would be live streaming to multiple platforms. I could even have a video element with the guest. It could all be controlled with voice commands over the internet. So literally I could just drive and talk, but that's not what we're doing today. This is just a recording, so we're not live, obviously. But yeah, I've done this in the past. One of the first videos on my channel, funny enough, I had this little series I did. I think there was like 3 episodes or something called the Daily Commute, the Daily Commute podcast. That's back when I was working this job up in Niagara Falls here in New York. It was about like a 40-minute commute. No, it was like an hour commute. And then on the days that, on the days when there was bad traffic, it could be like up to an hour and a half commute. It was brutal. And I didn't really like the job that much either, so I figured the one way I could at least get some value added would be to just do a podcast. It turned out okay. I only did a couple episodes, obviously, but I thought about bringing that back, so that's what we're doing today. The sound quality of this is going to be very bad for several reasons. Reason number one, you can tell already my voice is a little harsh. I'm recovering from a cold, so I'm like 4 days in now. I actually got tested for COVID for the first time ever. I never had a COVID test before, so I got that done yesterday. I'm recording this on Tuesday, November 9th. So yeah, I was tested for COVID on the 8th just because I was feeling sick and I just wanted to be safe and see what was going on. Part of me kind of hoped I had COVID just so I could have some antibodies in me, and my sickness wasn't that bad, so I figured, well, if this is the worst of it and I get the antibodies, that's pretty good. But the test came back negative, which is a good thing, I suppose. It was really easy. So apparently the old COVID test, you used to have to shove like that Q-tip. They have like this maybe like 6-inch long Q-tip that the lady presented me when I drove up to the building. I guess you used to have to shove that like all the way up your nose. There were some places I think that they did it for you, and then there were some places that you had to do it yourself, which that must be really hard. I wouldn't be able to shove something that long that far up my nose. It's like you're hurting yourself. Your body always tries to like stop you from hurting yourself. But this was easy. The lady's like, just shove it about an inch up, swab it around for 15 seconds. That was very easy to do. The results came back at 30 minutes. And yeah, negative. So no COVID for me. Whether or not I've gotten COVID in the past, I don't know. I've been sick maybe 3 times over the past year. It's possible I've gotten it, but I don't think I have. So that was that COVID test experience. That's reason number 1 for this audio sounding not too good, because of my cold or whatever is going on with me. Reason number 2, the car that I'm driving in right now is a little loud. It's got some kind of engine problems with it. Not engine problems, but it's just got some kind of noise issues, something that's loose somewhere. I got to get it fixed. I have another vehicle that I can drive using my wife drives. I think I might end up switching to that vehicle on the days that I want to do these podcasts. That vehicle's pretty quiet on the inside, so I think that'll be better for recording. I'm using a mod mic wireless. If you get like these, they're called OTG cables. You can plug in any USB device into your Android phone. I don't know if you can do this with iPhones. I would imagine maybe you can. But I put the mod mic wireless right in the phone, and then I can just plug the mod mic wireless. I got the microphone sitting in my pocket on my shirt. I'm wearing like a nice polo shirt with a pocket on the front, so the microphone, it sits there. I used to have a video element to this as well. If you go back and see those old Daily Commute podcasts. So I don't know if I want to do the video element again. It's a little bit more work, and it's a little distracting maybe, which obviously when I do these I want to be as safe as possible. I am driving right now, so I don't want to cause any injury to myself or others. And then it looks weird too, because I remember one time I was driving and I had like the camera up So I used one of those dashboard phone mounts where you mount it to your windshield. And I don't know if anyone's, I'm always the kind of person that's subconscious that thinks everyone's looking at me and judging what I'm doing, but really the camera was just pointing at me. So if they looked into my car, they would see that I'm just recording myself, which would be weird. I guess I could just be like, I don't care what other people think. But then you get to the gray area of like, I don't know, is there any legal issues with that? I don't think there would be. So yeah, that's reason number 2 why the audio is bad. Let me try to think if there's any other reasons why the audio might be bad. Well, I guess the third reason is just optimization of the layout. All right, right now I'm looking down at my microphone. I just moved it. It was kind of at a weird position. I got to think of a better system. Usually when I use this Mod Mic wireless, I have it mounted on like a headphone. It's got this really sweet magnet on it. You can attach the magnet system to anything. So normally I have it kind of sitting right next to my mouth. It's a little placed a little farther away from my mouth than I normally would have it. But I got to develop some kind of magnet system or some kind of strap to hold it in place better. There we go. I just moved it around again. Try not to move it anymore. Hopefully it stays in place. So yeah, this is stuff that we could improve. Again, I might never post this. I'll probably at least post this to my Discord or something. I used to try to really promote my Discord and do special things on there, but honestly, I don't have that many members. And my Discord's pretty inactive, which I guess I don't blame it because I don't really post anything. I do post a lot of the behind the scenes things that I'm working on there, like little Blender projects that I'm working on, little renders. I'm always doing something behind the scenes, and I like to post things there. It's funny, one of the main reasons I use my Discord is like I'll post, like I'll go live, I'll schedule a live stream for like say tonight, which actually tonight I think we're going to be playing some Resident Evil 4 live, and I'll create the link in YouTube, and then you'll get this shareable link. I'll post that in the Discord just to see how the thumbnail looks. Anytime I make thumbnails, I like to post them in Discord, because when you go on your phone on Discord, when you're viewing the thumbnail, like in Discord, the image is like small on your phone. It's like maybe a fifth of your phone screen, and that's kind of about the size that people would be viewing the thumbnail from. I just automatically assume that most people that are on YouTube are on their phones, which is probably accurate, I think, for the most part. So it's really good to judge a thumbnail from that aspect ratio, that size. I remember back in the day when I was first making my thumbnails, I made this really sweet No Man's Sky thumbnail, and I put all this like detail into it, all these like tiny things in the background, because I was making it on my big 1080p monitor on my computer, and I was trying to make it look extra detailed with all these different ships flying around in the sky and all this stuff. And in the end, thumbnails these days, it's just supposed to be very visible, very easy for people to see. One or two things on screen, usually a person with a dumb face. And that's like the thing for my channel too. It's like, I do want my channel to grow and I do want to improve things, but once you start getting into like how to follow the YouTube algorithm, I don't know, some part of me just wants to like not go into those trends. I see the other content creators out there doing it, and that you just make the dumb silly face, and then you put a border around your guy, and then there's just a nice background and maybe like a little bit of text explaining what's going on. Excuse me. But that's just not me. I've done it once in a while, and sometimes it's fun, but I'm definitely not going to do all my thumbnails like that. I tried to come up with a template because I want to try to put as little time into the thumbnails, but unfortunately, the thumbnail is kind of really what dictates the video. I got a bunch of YouTube channels that I follow, and they'll even talk about it. One YouTube channel you guys should check out if you haven't already is Corridor Crew. I've fallen in love with that channel over the past year. It actually brings a lot of sentimental memories to me because I was watching that channel a lot when my son was first born. So when I was giving him his bottles and that, we'd always watch it. Visual effects artists react. But they even got into it one day on their show about how a lot of their YouTube clicks and views are directly related to the thumbnail. And they even did some experimenting where they would change the thumbnail, and then it would get more views or less views. So yeah, the content of the video could be amazing, which I think for the most part, I think my videos are pretty good. My gameplay videos, You know, they're at least decent, but I don't know, maybe my thumbnail game is not that good. It's a big factor into getting views on YouTube. So it's something that I'm constantly working on, trying to perfect a sort of a theme for the channel. I got this pretty cool new theme that I'm going with, because obviously the channel is Virtual Steve now. We moved away from Steve XM, which I can go into that maybe a little bit. But so Virtual Steve is, the idea behind it is kind of like it's my online persona, and it's virtual because a lot of the stuff that I do is with computer graphics. A lot of the stuff I do is in video games, and the whole virtual style that I'm going with is kind of that grid. You can see the people do a lot of that retro grid from like the 80s. A lot of people use the same graphics where it's just like the horizon. That's cool and all. I've actually done some tutorials in Blender how to make that. It's pretty simple. But this grid that I'm doing, it's more of, in the thumbnails, it blends the characters into the scene. So like half of the character will be grid, and then half of the character will just be the actual image of the character. So I think that's the new theme I'm going with for my thumbnails. It'd kind of just be like, for instance, for the Resident Evil thumbnail that I got for tonight's stream, it's just Leon, the main character, on the left side of the thumbnail, and half of his body it fades into the grid on the lower half of his body. So it kind of goes with the theme of, like, you know, we're going into virtual reality, and it just, I guess it's the theme of the channel. So if people see those thumbnails when they're scrolling through, maybe they'll see that grid style that I'm going with, and they'll just instantly go, okay, that's a Virtual Steve video, let me click on that, or let me avoid it. Whatever they're thinking about. All right, I'm going to pause this here for a second, and I'm going to think about my next topic. That's the good thing about doing this recorded. I'm not really sure what I'm going to go into next. Maybe I don't need to pause it, but oh yeah, we were talking about the change from Steve XM to Virtual Steve. So it really wasn't a big decision. I mean, I had about 320 subscribers on my Steve XM channel. And when I first started YouTube, when I first started Twitch, I think it started with Twitch. I don't think I was on YouTube right away. Oh, I kind of was. I was live streaming to Twitch, and then I was once in a while making small videos for YouTube. So yeah, the Steve XM name started from Twitch for sure, but eventually it branched off into all the other platforms that I live stream on. But when I came up with the name, there really was no rhyme or reason. I know I wanted to use my actual name, Steve, or Steven, whatever. But the other part, I just needed something that, I didn't want numbers. I didn't want to be, you know, Steven 1283. I wanted something that was catchier. So Steve XM, it kind of sounds good. I kind of like it now that I'm thinking about it. And also, I think that once I don't know if I found the name first or if I found the Mega Man X theme first, but I definitely liked Mega Man X growing up. That was one of the games I played a lot when I was in my youth, maybe 7 years old, 10 years old, somewhere in that range. Mega Man X was a big game for me, and the X and the logo I kind of just stole and copied, and I fit that into my Steve XM logo. So that was kind of the theme I was going with. So some Mega Man people maybe caught on to that. Other people just seen the X. It kind of had a cool standout style to it. But I changed from Steve XM just because the XM really just had no meaning at all. Sometimes people would ask, I wouldn't get it that often, but what does the XM stand for? Nothing. I mean, it was just random. So thankfully, when I decided to rebrand, I was thinking of different names. I don't think I really had many ideas, but Virtual Steve, I wanted to see if it was out there. So I used this program. There's a website you can go to. It's like Username Checker online. And you can, if you're thinking of like a new brand name, a new channel name, you can check to see if it's been used on like 30 different platforms. So I typed in Virtual Steve, and sure enough, I was able to get it pretty much on everything. I think on some things I'm like Virtual Stevie or something weird like that, but YouTube, it's Virtual Steve. And I really like the name, and that's what we're going with for now on. I don't foresee that changing anytime soon. But the one thing I've been thinking about recently is my channel, I kind of just do what I want to do. There's really no main focus to the channel. Obviously, I do a lot of live streaming gameplay, but I also sprinkle in like some behind the scenes things. Like I do a lot of like stuff in Blender. modeling and animations, and I like to live stream that stuff sometimes. So recently I've been thinking, like, should I make like a second channel for that? Should I have like a Blender only channel, or like a behind the scenes content creator channel? And my life is kind of busy right now. It's just easier for me to just do everything in one spot. So in the end, it might hurt my channel growth. I don't know how the YouTube algorithm works. I'm sure it confuses the heck out of it. You're posting live streaming gaming content one day. You're posting a tutorial on how to use a program like Voice Attack the other day, which I've only ever done one of. And then the third day, you're live streaming Blender creation stuff. So I don't know. It's probably going to hinder the overall growth of the channel, but my philosophy behind it is that I will gain audience viewership of people that are kind of like-minded like me, that kind of just have a broad range of interests. They're just kind of into the whole tech scene of it. So hopefully people that are watching the channel, over time, the people that see the random streams come up with Blender and stuff like that, they'll unsubscribe, and then more people will subscribe that just like both. I like the variety. So, because that's definitely one thing on my channel where it's like, some people do like virtual reality only, but I got to be honest right now, like, as much as I love virtual reality, there's just not that, I shouldn't say there's not that much content out there to make, but it's definitely a little bit limited with the selection of games. It's a little bit limited. So I like to play all kinds of games, like to play non-VR games, regular VR games. So that's definitely another thing on the channel too, where it's a little bit split. So what I find a lot of times is I do get a lot of viewers when I'm doing like these virtual reality streams and shows, but I'll do like a live stream of just like Call of Duty Warzone, and like no one's looking at that, unfortunately. I mean, there's tons of people that stream it, tons of people that play it, but every once in a while I like to just play what I want to play, and that's just what it's going to be. So definitely it's hard to grow a channel like that, but again, maybe over time people will like my personality enough to just be like, oh, I don't know what he's playing today, let's check it out. And again, I'm not big on becoming big on YouTube and all that stuff. Obviously I do it because I like to expose people to what I like to do, the games I like to play, the programs that I like to learn, whether it's Blender or Unreal Engine, which is actually something that I want to get into more. Maybe we'll talk about that next. Yeah, I don't know how much longer I can talk. Let me get some water. Probably not the best time to do a podcast is when I'm recovering from a cold, but that just means that the audio quality will only get better as we go. So yeah, I don't care about having tons of viewers, but I certainly do care about having some viewers. I mean, I see YouTube channels that get, when they live stream, they get, 5, 10 concurrent viewers. I think that would be a goal for me. Like, when can I get to the point where I have a steady stream of viewers? I think one of the biggest hindrances to me too is I don't have a schedule. It kind of goes along with the theme of the rest of the channel, where I just do what I want when I want. And again, not having a set schedule, not having a time for people to come to the show can be a problem. And I always put my work and my family first over my content creation, because I just do this as a hobby. But I think I do need to maybe at least do one day a week. Even if it's not every week, I can miss a week here or there, but I can promote it more. Say, okay, I'm kind of thinking Monday nights. I don't know what the date is going to be yet, but maybe Monday nights. I could say every Monday at 8 p.m. Virtual Steve Show is live for sure. Like, this is the night you guys can come. Don't know what I'm going to be doing. Don't know if it's going to be a talk show, interview session, if it's going to be a live streaming session, what it's going to be, but that way at least gives some people a little bit more traction. They could set a reminder, they can tune into the show. It'll give me a bit more of a schedule for myself to stick to. But as I'm thinking about it, it's like, I don't know, I guess I don't care enough to do that stuff, because life gets busy, things come up, and once you start getting stressed when you're doing the show, it's just not as fun. I remember when I was doing the 30-day fitness challenge. I've done 2 of these now in VR, 30 days of VR fitness. So it's me live streaming for about 30 minutes to an hour, 30 days in a row, sweating it out, playing very physically active games like Beat Saber. It was hard. It was hard to come back 30 days in a row, and there was definitely days where I was like, shit, it's like, it's day 15, like I've done 15 days in a row, I can't screw up now, but there was definitely days where I would do it, and I just didn't feel like doing it. But the part of me that didn't mind that is there was a fitness aspect related to it. So at least I was able to justify it in my mind, okay, well, you know, this is also a workout too. This is a really good physical workout, and it is for those that don't know, for those that don't like doing cardio type workouts. If you get good at Beat Saber and you can play a game like that on like a higher difficulty level, or you're moving around a lot, it's a really good workout. I play Beat Saber on expert level, and you're sweating. I mean, you're really sweating. I actually think I broke my original Rift S. I had to send it back and get a replacement. Thankfully, Oculus honored that. I don't know what happened with the headset, but I honestly think I just sweat too much into it. When I was done with some of them sessions, my shirt was just drenched. And also live streaming, it was funny because I have all these lights pointed on me. At the time, I think I was using these 3 umbrella type lights, and it would get hot in my room, my tiny little room I was in. And that just added to the fitness because it was hot in there. I was moving around like crazy. So yeah, stuff like that. I'm thinking about maybe doing a 30-day fitness challenge again. And funny enough, I still have my old Rift S headset laying around. I think I'm going to use that one instead of my Quest 2, because my Quest 2 is pretty much pristine right now. I don't even think I've sweat into that thing like once yet. Like, a lot of the games I play nowadays are kind of just not really physically active games. I don't really sweat like that. Plus, my new house, I actually have like central air in that, so it never gets too hot in my room. I think it gets maybe up to like 75 degrees Fahrenheit. So I haven't really sweat into it yet, and I kind of want to keep that headset nice. I do plan on probably picking up the Cambria headset when that comes out, depending on the price point in that. But right now, I'm really happy with the Quest 2 headset. I think it's a really good deal for $300. There's a lot of nice headsets out there. You can get for like $1,000, like the Index. Well, it's a little bit more than that because you got to get all the base stations and stuff. But I just can't justify a purchase that big right now. You know, I like the Quest 2, so that's what we're sticking with for now. So maybe if I do the VR fitness stuff again, I've been doing this weight loss diet right now. So I'm thinking I can kickstart the weight loss with some more physical activity. And certainly, I think doing something like Beat Saber for 30 days in a row, something like that, will definitely get me there. I just don't know. I probably would get bored. I might get bored of doing Beat Saber that many days in a row. There's a couple other VR fitness games that they're pretty good for a workout, but in my testing, back when I did my 30-day fitness challenge, I did a bunch of different games. I tried, at one point, I think the second challenge I tried to do a different game every day for the first maybe like 10 or 15 days. And I ran out of games, and I found that a lot of them weren't at the same level of rigor as the Beat Saber. The Beat Saber is just the go-to, I think, if you want to get a good sweat in. So maybe Synth Riders was like a second. I don't even think it is, though, because a lot of that game is you're like riding the rails. It's more of like moving your hands slowly in different positions. I don't know. I didn't play it too much, though. But yeah, so weight loss, yeah, I've been trying to lose weight. I weighed myself, I think it was like 2 months ago, month and a half ago. I was up to 215 pounds. So that's the highest I've been in my life. I'm only 5'10". I think my ideal weight, based on medical stuff, is like 163 pounds, which I think that's a bit low. I don't think I would ever want to get that low, maybe. But my target weight is like 173 right now. I think I want to get down something in that range. I've been just kind of watching what I eat, really. I'm not doing any kind of restrictive diet. I should mention, though, in the past I did a ketogenic diet, and I actually followed it quite strictly. A lot of people nowadays, the keto diet's kind of picking up steam. I actually started it kind of right before it was well known, and at the time it was you would go shopping for foods that were keto friendly. They didn't have anything in the stores back then. This is maybe 3 years ago, where they would have like keto labels on it, like keto friendly, this and that, which come to find out now after I've done a little bit more learning, mostly from the Joe Rogan podcast. He's had some doctor's net on. A lot of those keto friendly labels are a little misleading. They're actually not the best for keto diet. But yeah, back when I did it, I was pretty strict. I actually lost 40 pounds. So that was probably over the course of maybe, I don't know, it was over the course of like 6 months to a year. But I did get down at one point. I think I was down to 163. I got all the way down. I think I was only at 210 though at my height of my weight, and then that's when I decided, I was like, oh crap. I hadn't got on the scale for years. I think I was house sitting this family's house for a weekend, me and the now wife, and they had a scale in their bathroom, and I just decided to go on it for whatever reason. I probably knew that I was a little heavy, and it shocked me when I was over 200 pounds. I was like, holy crap. And I think I was like 210 at the time. So sometime after that, I decided to go on the ketogenic diet after hearing some lady talk about it on the Joe Rogan show. And, it worked really good for me. It's pretty restrictive though. And you can actually get sick if you break the diet. Like if you want to go have a cheat meal, if you're in really good ketosis, you kind of just have to stick with it. It's really hard to be flexible with. So that's not what I'm doing now. Right now I'm just doing I guess it's calorie counting. I don't actually count the calories. But what I do a lot of is I do a lot of fasting. So it's not a strict fast either. I'll wake up in the morning and I'll have a cup of coffee with creamer in it, which you're not supposed to do if you're fasting. You're supposed to only have black coffee. But I just like my coffee in the morning. So I have a cup of coffee in the morning. I try not to eat dinner past like 6 or 7 the night before. So if you have, I guess a good fast is 16 hours is what they say. So if I eat dinner at 6 o'clock the night before, then I can eat again at 10 in the morning, my first bite of food for the day. And that gets me a 16-hour fast. Now, with the coffee with creamer, okay, it's not a perfect fast, but whatever. It does work. I've noticed that my appetite has definitely gone down. Like I can eat smaller portions now and then get full. And I can't eat really big portions anymore. Like I used to be able to go to this place that we have here, a local place called Wegmans, and they have these really good subs there. And I would eat half of a large sub, which is huge. I mean, it's just a lot of food. It's a lot of bread, meat, all that stuff. And I used to be able to eat that like no problem. And I would have like sushi on the side as a snack with it. And then I would eat like a big cookie afterwards. And nowadays, I don't think I would be able to do that. I think I would feel really bloated afterwards, really full. So the diet's definitely working. So maybe I'll kickstart it. I should mention my weight now too. So I'm down to, I weighed myself today. I'm at 193.6, I think it was. So I think I'm at my all-time low since I started this diet. So I'm over, what is that? 10, wow. No. Yeah, I'm almost 20 pounds down. Holy shit. My math's not the best right now, so I could be off a little bit, but I'm definitely over 15 pounds, so it's a good start. Probably a lot of that's water weight, but I'm sticking with this diet. It's pretty easy. I'll have like 1 or 2 bad meals a week. It's like a Friday night. You want to go out to dinner, I'll just eat kind of whatever. A big burger and maybe a couple fries on the side. And then the next day I just get back on the diet, just go back to it. I find that this diet is not restrictive, so the fasting helps because that way I'm skipping breakfast, so you're skipping a whole meal. I'll eat a regular sized lunch, something that's semi-healthy, nothing too crazy. Try to find some healthy snacks. Usually I'd get like these, I'll either eat carrots with hummus or guacamole, or I'll eat some like veggie chips on the side, and then like a low-calorie chocolate fiber bar. Excuse me. So yeah, this diet's working pretty good. I'm going to stick with it. I think this is like a lifestyle change for me now too, where I want to just maintain my health. Ever since I become a father too, you look at your health differently. Like it's not only my health, it's like the health of like me as a father for my son. So it's definitely a big factor. Plus I'm getting up there in age now. I don't even know how old I am. Holy shit, how old am I? I'm either going to be 33. What's the year? I'll be 32 in January, so I'm getting up there in age. So your metabolism slows down, all that stuff. But in the grand scheme of things, I'm pretty damn young, being 32. I think hopefully I'll live forever. So, but that's a whole nother topic. We can get into another episode. There's definitely going to be a generation where if this whole civilization doesn't go to shit, that I think we are going to be making some groundbreaking medical advances. I was thinking about it the other day. So normally most people go like once a year for a physical. Once we get some kind of advanced technology, I don't even know if this is possible, but I've always loved the idea of like micro machines. So you would have some kind of pill you would take, and there would be these self-replicating machines that would live inside your body. Maybe they would be at the cellular level. They could go through your bloodstream. But the thought process is they would be able to monitor just everything going on in your body. So it's really good for preventative stuff. You would know as soon as cancer cells are forming. Maybe these micro machines could even attack the cancer cells. And the way the computers work, computers are so fast. So these things would be, they would be kind of like a hive mind. Like they would all be communicating with each other. And theoretically, instead of getting a physical once a year, you could be getting 1,000 physicals a second. So I don't know what the math is on that, but doctors are going to be, their job is going to be a lot different once this kind of technology comes to fruition. Because you're going to go to doctors for surgeries and stuff when you have accidents or something, major happens that maybe these micro machines wouldn't be able to handle. But who knows? Who knows what they could do? Maybe they could, you go to a doctor, they set the bone, put a cast on it, but then maybe like a week later, the micro machines just go around the broken bone and they fuse things together, they add tissue. Who knows? It's exciting though, and it's one of those things too. It's like I want to live as long as possible to be able to see some of this stuff happen. I probably, who knows, probably won't be in that generation where we get the eternal life or super long lifespans, but I definitely think it's a good time to be alive right now. I think the only generation that has a bit cooler time to be alive is like people that are born in like the maybe 60s, or maybe the people that are born before them, because they've seen so much change. They went from like no televisions, like the people that were born in, I don't know, the 20s. I don't know when the television was made. I'm going to guess like the 30s or 40s. But they got to go from just radios on TV or radios in their living room to like literally what we have now, which is virtual reality and IMAX theaters and cell phones, smartphones. That's such a big change. So I don't know. I like to talk about this kind of stuff, but I'm going to wrap this show up now. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll be doing some more. The audio quality will be better next time. In the future, I'm going to get some guests on, maybe. I'll probably also throw out some questions. You guys want to ask me some questions, leave them in the comments of this video or leave them in the comments of the Discord, wherever I post this. And I'll answer your questions maybe on the next episode or on a future episode. I like to do like an AMA type show as well. It gives me some topics to talk about. That's another thing I'm doing behind the scenes, is coming up with some topics to talk about on these shows instead of just ranting. Today I literally just went in my car and I just turned on the microphone, and that was a 40-minute car ride home. I think we recorded the whole time, so I was able to keep talking about random things, but it's good to have topics to go off of too, so I can focus in on stuff. But hope you guys enjoyed the discussion. Definitely have some future topics I want to go into. Looking forward to live streaming some Resident Evil 4 tonight or maybe tomorrow. We're going to be playing that game from the beginning on professional difficulty. So the first time I'll be playing through it will be on professional difficulty. I've been working really hard behind the scenes on perfecting the live stream output of that, and I've been using a program called SideQuest. It's the optimal way to live stream Quest 2 footage. And I also got a workaround now too where I can record the gameplay as well. So we're going to be recording the gameplay. We're going to be live streaming the gameplay, and then I'm going to re-upload the recorded stuff with, obviously it'll be much better quality than the live stream. So hope you guys enjoy all that stuff, and hope you guys enjoy the discussion. I am at home now, and I am going to stop this podcast. So I'll catch you guys on the next episode of whatever I'm going to call this thing. Maybe I'll just call it the Daily Commute again. All right, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.